So it's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker tonight. She is currently working at my old alma mater, UTA. Any other UTA grads who know what Dr. Began is? All right, go Mavs. Okay, so she is, let me get my glasses back on, I apologize. So, Dr. Dustin Harp is the director of the Women's and Gender Studies program and an associate professor in the Department of Communications at the University of Texas at Arlington, my old job. All right, her research explores the intersections of women, journalism, and mass communications and media with specific interest in women in politics and the influence of social media on public discussions. She recently published Gender in the 26th U.S. presidential election, Trump, Clinton, and Media Discourse. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Dr. Harp.
Having me here today. So, that is a bright light.
Message received.
I feel like maybe I should do a comedy routine. Alright, so I am going to talk about politics, women, media, particularly the 2016 election, but also for us to think about how women are portrayed in media as we go forward into this 2020 election. As you can see, my book is Gender in the 2016 U.S. presidential election, but I have been writing about women in politics. I've published about Wendy Davis, I've published about Sarah Palin, lots about Hillary Clinton. So I've been looking at it for quite a while. I talk about a mediated world, and I think that I want to address that a little bit first, which is we're living in a time, a media environment that we haven't lived in, right, before. And so the 2016 election and our president, our current president, are using media in a way that politicians never have, right? Because, I mean, we all know Trump and his tweets, right? So the 2016 election really marked a time where we had presidential candidates speaking directly to the people, right? Instead of through media coverage. So anyway, I think, and we can go ahead and go to the next slide. So I want to talk about how media and really culturally, how we talk about women in politics and why it matters. And you know, I use media as more of a space, an environment for us to think about really how we talk about it in our culture, right? Because how media covers and talks about women in politics really reflects how we as a culture are talking about it. And I also will say that when I talk about media, you know, I'm a former journalist, and I do a lot of research on journalism, but I also do a lot of research on media in a broader sense, and that includes looking at social media, that includes entertainment, satire, because all of those media spaces together reflect a larger conversation. So what I want to talk about before I go to the next slide is why might we be concerned with how we talk about women in politics or how women politicians are reflected in media conversations. So a lot of that has to do with our traditional ideas about men and women. The stereotypes are just traditional ideas about what we think a man is, what we think a woman is. And while these ideas and belief systems are changing over time, there's some very traditional ways we think about men and women in this culture. So when I say, what does it mean to be a man? What kind of pops into your head? Macho. Strong. Strong, excuse me, sorry.
Competitive.
Competitive.
Aggressive.
Oppressive?
I'm sorry, but I don't really
Closed-minded? Okay.
Or boys will be boys.
Oh, that was it. I was just gonna kind of come out my mouth next. So boys will be boys, which we heard that construction of masculinity when Trump was hot mic'd and talked about grabbing women. That was, oh, boys will be boys. That was lost on the top, right? Okay, so you can hit the slide. So that's a traditional idea of masculinity. So all these ideas kind of came up, you know, and also I just threw in some images because it always makes the PowerPoint more fun to look at. It makes it more fun to look at. But you can see here, this is ideas about traditional masculinity. Now what about when we talk about women? What ideas about what it means to be a woman in American culture, what comes up? Nurturing, emotional, strong? Go ahead,
I know what side of the bread my butter's from.
go ahead. So